Hello, what up, and welcome back. Welcome to another day, another installment of spiritual wisdom along this journey of life. Another download of valuable lessons from the universe, from the great men and women of our time and of times past who figured some shit out and then they wrote it down or they fucking spread it by videos or however they did it, and it's available to you. It's available to me. Can you believe that? Holy shit. The greatest fucking people of our entire species who had the foresight to write the fucking lessons down that they learned, and then they just provided that for you in the form of a book or a fucking podcast or a video or whatever. And you have the capability now, you the fucking monkey on planet Earth, can just allow that shit into your brain and allow it to change the way you think and improve yourself and fucking develop your value as a human being. You can actually do that. So, in that sense, it's fucking grateful to be alive. We can say we're grateful to exist at this time. Yes, there's bullshit. Yes, there's distraction. Yes, there's fucking morons and stupidity. Yeah, okay, we know that. There's plenty of that to go around. We all know that. But there's also a lot of insanely valuable shit that you have access to. And because of technology now, and the internet and fucking libraries and podcasts and all this stuff and Instagram Live and shit like I'm doing right here, you have the capacity to tune into the greatest shit ever, and you can just tune into it. And you can just bypass hundreds and hundreds of years, thousands and thousands of fucking hours, whatever it is. You can just bypass so much of it. Right? It's like you don't have to sit down with a rock and a string and a piece of wood and make a fire. Like you don't have to do that every single day. Someone invented matches. Then they invented central heating. Now you just flick a switch and it's warm in your house. Right? So you don't have to worry about that. In the same way, you can just read the Tao Te Ching. You can just listen to fucking Rogan. You can just watch RSD. You can just listen to fucking me. You can just do these things and bypass massive, crippling fucking learning curves. And you can just jump way ahead. Right? It's like, why do you think there wasn't like guys who looked like damn fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger like 300 years ago? Like there were big dudes, I'm sure, like warriors and shit. But there wasn't that level of fitness and technology available because no one had gotten around to doing it yet. Now there's dudes pumped up, jacked like Arnold that they're like fucking 21 years old. They're all over the place. Because dudes learned and they were able to bypass massive learning curves, right? So that's what we're doing. And it's almost good that people can't really tune into that. People are scared of it because it eliminates so many people, right? And that's why something like what I'm doing here, this video, will get like a couple of views because only a couple of people are ever going to become successful, right? It's only a few people, just a few. Just a small proportion of people will ever bother doing what it takes for them to achieve their dreams, whatever that is. Whether it's fitness, relationships, financial, whatever the fuck, enlightenment, who knows. And they're not all the same, so there's enough for everyone. Everyone could do it. Not everyone wants to drive a Lamborghini. Not everyone wants to invent new fucking computer software. Not everyone wants like 50 girlfriends. Not everyone wants to marry that one soccer player, or football player, whatever it is. Not everyone has your same goals. So you can achieve your goals or your dreams, and without even really, there's enough for everyone, right? Yes, there could be conflict, there could be resistance, but fundamentally you can move forward towards it, and the journey you do it for the love of the journey anyway, so it doesn't even hardly matter about the goals. I mean, you still achieve them, but it's about the journey, right? But you understand that the vast majority of people just won't. And that's why they won't. What's up, Agent Q, brother? How you doing, my man? And that's why the vast majority of people just won't bother, right? They will not bother they won't bother watching these videos. They won't bother reading the books. They won't bother listening to the podcast because they're more interested in distraction, right? They love being distracted more than they love themselves, to be honest. Hey, brother. They love being distracted. They love gossip. They love being fucking drunk. They love watching reality television more than they even love themselves, more than they even love their goals, more than they really want to be happy, more than they really want to grow their presence, grow their awareness, right? It's like, that's why I'm not concerned if there's thousands and thousands of people watching my video. It's not that important. It's almost more important that just a few people watch. But those people are invested, and those people can hear it. You see, I'm more interested in the few people who can hear it than the lot of people who can't, right? The lots of people who can't, they're potential customers, potential clients. They have potential value, and that's great, and I'm happy about that. But until they invest a bit in themselves to become a more qualified buyer, they're not really even qualified to buy yet, right? They're not really qualified to hear the lesson. So I focus on the people who are becoming qualified to hear the lesson, and I say, that's wicked. Let's get that shit going. Because those are the people who you want, right? It only takes a few of them to get interested, and the shit can blow up, right? It only takes one fucking mention on Oprah back in the day for a book to explode. If a book got on Oprah's book club, the thing exploded. And up until that, say Eckhart Tolle, he was not a household name, really. But then he got on Oprah and she saw the value in him and he exploded. But he was consistently investing in the message, in the truth, in the value, and he was investing in that because he knew that the reward would come. And whenever you see people who are just jumping from trend to trend, they're trying to please this person, they're trying to please that person, they're wondering what people think about them, they're trying to trick little groups of people into buying their new fucking Coke fucking Zero, Coke fucking Light, Pepsi Blue, It's like, okay, motherfucker, you're just selling sugar water. We all know that already. Give us something better. So we're trying to invest in what's real, the real lesson, knowing that the results and the rewards will come, and they will come in more abundance than just your little fucking dollars and numbers and fucking scraps of paper. Those are great. I want money. I want my fucking pockets overflowing with money so I can buy shit and enjoy life. Of course I do. But I understand the truer, deeper lessons will come in more varied manifestations than simply a fucking couple of gold coins. Those are great, and I'm happy about them, and I encourage the goddamn fucking universe and people and society to heap that shit upon me because it's great, and I love the fucking look of diamond rings and gold and everything. It's great, and handfuls of money. That shit's awesome. But I understand the lessons, the true value can come in many different ways. The true value can come even in just the ability to do this. So I appreciate the journey as it is, you see, because even as Tyler said recently in a video, even the bad nights, you're thankful for what you consider a bad night out, say. You appreciate the fact that it's still a night, it's still a journey, it's still part of the game. And you know that the what you might call a good night will come. But it's only in in relation to the quote-unquote bad night. And there were deeper lessons involved in that, say, negative reference experience or whatever it was. You have an opportunity to learn from that, and that's great because there was something within you. There was something within you that had that a, say, quote-unquote negative reference, negative experience. There's something within you that had the capacity to stick with that. Right? So if something hits you, if you feel something, that means that it's an opportunity for you to break down that resistance. And we welcome those with appreciation, even if it's fucking horrible. That's why I always say, what do I always say? Embrace the horror. Good. Great. Perfect. I love it. It's amazing. We even just say the fucking words. We just say it. Embrace the horror. That's amazing. That's great. Even if when we get those other lessons that come up within us, we know that it's a deeper truth coming into service for us. And it's amazing. And even though it's fucking horrible, we understand that it's too late to turn back. We're already on this path. We've already burned the boats. We're already alive. We already exist. And now our job is to embrace this resistance and process through it so that we can meet our dreams and our goals, and we can be a part of what Rich Piana calls like the 5%, which he's probably right there. It's about 5% of people who are willing to do whatever it takes, but it could be more. It would be great if it was more. And we're not trying to reduce that. We're not trying to limit people. Rich Piana, the great fucking late bodybuilder and fitness guy, Rich Piana, check him out. He's a legend. I love him. He passed away, I think, last year, but he's awesome. And he had this mentality of 5%. 5% of people will bother doing it. And you got to do whatever the fuck it takes. You just do whatever it takes. You fucking do it. You do it. You do it. You fucking do it. Whatever it takes. You're not hurting people. You're not breaking fucking laws and shit. But you do what it takes. If you need to meditate an hour a day, you do it. And you realize that the lessons will come. The truth will present itself, and that's part of the laugh. And you don't need other people to appreciate it right here and now. You don't need them to recognize the value that you're producing. It's not really important, and in a lot of ways they never will, right? They never will. They really never will. Like your fucking uncle or your fucking mom or your dad or your fucking brother or your cousin or your neighbor or whoever it is, they're never really going to see what it is you're doing. Like, even though, say, you might be like a great sculptor and you're like sculpting shit in your backyard and it's like incredible, like you're sculpting out of clay and chiseling shit out of wood and stuff, and you're like, wow, this is incredible. Like, I'm really doing something here. The truth is that, say it's your uncle. He's like always going to be like, well, that sculpting shit you're doing, I guess, is okay, but you really should go work in the coal mine, because that's what a real fucking man does, or that's what a real upstanding citizen would go and work in the coal mine and dig coal. Yeah. Nothing against the coal miners. If that's what you do, that's great. I'm just saying, if you're called to something else, if you're called to be a sculptor, you're going to probably face resistance from people who don't understand that. And even though they might be like your family or your friends or whatever, and they might quote unquote love you, they still don't know how to actually encourage you, or they don't actually know how to like accept you, because they haven't built those muscles up. They don't have the muscles of acceptance or of appreciation, so they don't know what to do. So they just feel like, nah, I don't get it. They just feel something uneasy within themselves, and they want that to stop. So they have a drink of whiskey, they eat a fucking pill, they watch mainstream television, and they tell you to fucking stop. Nah, stop being a sculptor and start digging in a coal mine. Agent Q, I'm amazing. It's so true. Hard to go against the grain. Thank you, my man. We're in it together, brother. If I'm amazing, that must mean you're amazing, because you're here consistently like a fucking boss. And we're handling shit, and we're on the path, my man. That's right, man. It is hard to go against the grain, but you know what? That's where all the fucking laughs are. That's where all the winning is. That's where all the hilariousness is. So that's what we fucking do. I love it. Good against the grain. Motherfuck the grain. We go where we want to go. Like that's what makes the laughs. Like it's hilarious that in this situation I'm explaining, this is all hypothetical by the way. Like your fucking uncle's telling you, go work in the coal mine and dig some coals like a real fucking man and drag that shit out of there and then come home and fucking drink a beer and beat your fucking wife and blah, 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 and like the right kind of fucking football team and all this shit. I love that. Like, I love that uncle. He's awesome. He's great. He's fucking hilarious. I don't take him seriously. It's irrelevant what he thinks. It's just resistance. It's no different than if it rains one day. And I'm like, oh, it's raining out today. Okay, cool. I'll take an umbrella. But I don't take it personally. I'm not like, that fucking rain. Ugh. It fucking rained on me today. Ugh. I treat this guy, this uncle, the same way. It's fucking irrelevant. Like, whether you sit there every time I see you at every family gathering, I'm like, oh, Luke, you fucking idiot. Stop sculpting out in the backyard like a fucking pansy boy. Stop sculpting out there. Who do you think you are, Michelangelo da Vinci? With your fucking beard and your man bun. Just a caveat, I don't actually have an uncle like this or any type of shit. I'm just making all this up. But that's the point. Like, you know, this guy would say that all the time anyway. And each time he does that, yes, it's obscene. And yes, he's a broken human being. And he is irresponsible for behaving that way. And he shouldn't. And he's probably drunk or some shit. But I still love it. Let's see what we got here, Agent Q. If you are small-minded, yes, that's people. The Jedi mind trick works. Okay. And it works for a lot. Yeah. I am seeing it now in Fashion Week. Okay, cool, man. Totally. Everyone trying to be the same. Like itty-bitty little fucking children. All trying to fit in and get invited to the fucking cool kid's birthday party. It's hilarious. Everybody trying to fit in. Authenticity is hard to find. Exactly. Authenticity is where the value is. Authenticity is where the power is. Authenticity is where you fucking are. And the more you walk around trying to fit in to itty-bitty little fucking fashion groups or whatever it is, so like some fucking pathetic loser, I built this kind of shirt because I feel like it fits in, and da-da-da, and you should buy my shirt because it's really good. And other people are just using you as a fucking commodity. Just, okay, this fucking idiot's building shirts like that, and he's building... But you're never going to meet real success. So stop doing it. And then you got other people, Agent Q's here at the Fashion Week, and he's just looking around and seeing like hundreds and hundreds or thousands of people who are all playing these little fucking dancy-prancy fucking fashion games. But what they really should be doing is watching this fucking video and playing this game. And as a byproduct, your little fashion will come. Don't worry about that. The fashion will come and you'll fucking wreck shop because no one else is doing it. And then they'll all sit around wondering how you came up with it. Oh my God, what fashion school did you go to? Holy shit, how did you manage that? You'd be like, no, motherfucker, I just watched this idiot with a beard and a fucking man bun, and I just paid attention to these fundamental fucking universal lessons, and I invested in those because I knew that the success would come. Right? And then they'll fucking clap and sing and pat you on your back and tell you how smart you are. Bringing it all the way back to this story about the coal miner, your fucking drunk uncle telling you to be a coal miner. That motherfucker will do the same shit. When you finally become a successful sculptor and you start making money and you buy a fucking house on the hill and now you're having Christmas dinner at your place, that drunk idiot's going to come out of the fucking coal mine covered in soot. Again, nothing against the fucking coal miners. I appreciate what you're doing. Thank you very much. He comes out of the fucking coal mine covered in soot and he comes on up to your house on the hill, right? And that motherfucker sits there on the hill and he says, again, that guy's going to come to your house and he's going to be like, oh, wow, yeah, you really made it work, didn't you? Yeah, cool, sculpting's great. You really use your hands, don't you? Yeah, I know about sculpting shit. I sculpt out of the hill with the coal. And he's going to start trying to align with you. He can't help himself, right? He can't help it. Because universal law is fucking universal law. It's human nature. And even after all that, you can't even blame the guy. right? That old drunk uncle, you can't blame the guy. He can't help it. He's just doing the best he knows. He's probably still a little child inside. He's still 14 years old when he started working in the fucking coal mine, and he doesn't know any different. So we appreciate this motherfucker for what he is, right? So let's see what we got here, Agent Q. There are talented people. Yeah, of course there are. Like a sculpture, that's right. Yep, and whatever it is fine. Sculpting, fashion, whatever. The universe speaks through some people. That's true. But a lot of people are not self-aware. Yeah, man, they don't have a clue. Anyone could be out there. Anyone could be out there ready to be a fashion designer. You could be ready to be a sculptor. You could be ready to be the greatest speaker ever, the greatest fucking spiritual teacher, the greatest soccer player, whatever. But you don't have any connection to your own source, so you're just trying to randomly fit your shit in wherever. And that's unfortunately what most people do, and I don't think it ever works, personally. Also, Uncle is doing the best he can with what he knows. Yeah, man, 100%, dude. We take it easy on the old uncle, right? Because he doesn't know any better. That motherfucker was probably in the war or some shit. He was probably fucking marching off with a pack and a rifle when he was like 16 or 17. He did the best he could. He doesn't understand these concepts, really, we're talking about. Funny, you just said what I was writing, the part about Uncle doing his best. Yeah, man, yeah, I was coming to that. Oh, yeah, don't worry about that. I was not throwing Uncle under the bus. Absolutely not, man. We have to appreciate these people for what they are and understand that they're coming from the frame they understand. They're coming from the frame that they can grasp with. And even though maybe the way that they behave is not helpful to us, it is helpful because they're still providing some type of resistance within us. And say they're your uncle, say they're part of your family. That's still a part of your family's experience, right? Thank you, brother. Thank you, my man, Agent Q. You're a legend. I appreciate that. We're still appreciating this uncle because he's part of our experience and we've still come from that. And you know what? Maybe our work ethic to sculpt out of clay or out of stone is in some like metaphysical fucking way connected to our family of like sculpting coal out of the mountains or some shit, and maybe we got that work ethic from him or from our relatives or whatever, so we still appreciate him. And what we really do for him, what our real fucking goal and our real gift is when the success comes for us and we finally become a successful sculptor or whatever, and we get the big house on the hill, and all the family comes to our place at Christmas, and the drunk uncle crawls up out of the coal mine and comes over, what we do is we do not kick him, okay? We don't rub it in his face. We don't. We say, you're welcome to come. I appreciate what you're doing in the coal mine, and I'm glad you came. Because the way that you were treating me earlier, was providing me with the resistance that I needed. The way that you were kind of demeaning me was, in fact, in the end, helpful. And I also understand that you were doing the best you could and you didn't know any better. And maybe by me actually surmounting this obstacle, it might actually inspire the coal miner in some way. To be like, wow, there is other things out there. Holy. Maybe he'll become a better coal miner. Who knows? But at the end of the day, it isn't our concern, right? We do our game. We let other people do as they may. We always remember we can't help others until we help ourselves, right? We always invest in ourselves. We always invest in our own vessel, and we allow that shit to overflow. Okay, we allow that shit to overflow onto other people, and we don't really concern ourselves that much with how it really like affects them or whatever. We just let it go, we let it happen, and that's fine. That's great. And so the moral of this whole goddamn story is, you do your service, you do your little patterns, you do your little work, acknowledging that it's out of the love of the process, out of the love of that journey of doing it. Understand there will be other people who provide resistance to you. Don't do that. Don't fucking be a sculptor. And you understand they don't even know any better. And later on, when you do get rewarded, you still kind of provide them acceptance. And you still kind of come from this place of, well, that's okay. I'm actually now in somehow, I provided them some type of resistance. Me becoming a great sculptor, say, is providing an opportunity for that uncle to at least behave in some way. At least he's feeling something. He's feeling like, oh, don't be a sculptor. That scares me. Maybe I could have been a sculptor. Good. That was a gift I gave him. Right? So we're always giving. We're always providing these gifts, even though other people might not see them as gifts. What we're doing for that old uncle is a service. We're giving him an opportunity to feel something. Mind you, maybe he's not really wanting to feel it, so he's lashing out. But that's okay. Even that is an opportunity for him. And what we do is we provide like an endless well, like a bottomless well that doesn't really provide feedback to that. So when someone tells you like, you're stupid, like I don't like your fucking beard and your man bun, like your sculpting is dumb, or like your fashion projects are weird and stupid. What we do is we're like a well without water at the bottom. It's an endless well. So if you drop a stone into it, someone drops a stone into the well, they're waiting for the splash. What we do is we just kind of allow it to go. Someone's like, your beard's stupid. And my reaction is, oh, well, I can live with that. Yeah. Opinions vary. I've heard good, I've heard bad. Right? We provide them with an empty space. Because that lesson there is the lesson. Agent Q, I get it. Okay, cool, man. Yeah. It's really a service that we even further provide of this kind of bottomless well for others. And it kind of allows them to see that they've kind of put something out into the universe of like, your beer's stupid. And my reaction is, oh, well, opinions vary. I can live with it. Do people really say shit like that? I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say so much that they specifically say like your beard is stupid and this and that, but you know, when you go hard like I do, and I mean, obviously, the kind of like lessons and shit I'm speaking about, clearly a lot of this is from like vast amounts of reference experiences and a lot of fucking hardcore action, because I speak about this in all a real way. So I mean, certainly there's no question that I've faced vast fucking amounts of resistance and of fucking, yeah, you could say like quite negative feedback, quite like, you get it a lot, you know, especially, not to be fucking rude to the girls, but they can't help it. Like, you get some random dude like me coming up with a beard and fucking man bun, and I'm just like, what's up, how's it going? And to them, they don't know who I am. So they can't help it. If the circumstances are slightly this or slightly that, of course they're going to have a reaction of like, you're stupid, you're weird, I don't like you. They can't help it. That's just what they do. That's what they're primed for. They get so many idiots coming up to them, fucking drunk, trying to talk to them. Of course, I'm going to face some of that because they don't know any better. But that's okay. That just means it's up to me to more clearly define and clearly provide my truer value and be like, okay, actually that's great that you thought I was stupid or my beard was dumb, okay, and okay, whatever, like, anyway, how are you? Like, besides that, now that we got that unpleasantness out of the way, can we actually speak like human beings, right? So that's how I would come about it. And it wouldn't matter, right? The point is, it wouldn't matter if they didn't like the hair, or they didn't like the beard, or I was too tall, or I was too short, or I was too white, or I was too fucking tanned, or whatever it was. It's just an opportunity for people to kind of pick onto something, right? It's like the uncle. It's not that he really hates fucking... Yeah, we are talking about rolling up on girls or in this space. Yeah, or in the space. Oh, or in the... So, did you mean space there? Yeah, I'm referring to like... Yeah, I guess I went to that. Like, if we're talking specifically about me, that's where I guess I would face it a lot, is talking to girls and stuff. Yeah, of course, because they're discerning. They're very discerning people. Of course, they're always going to be kind of like picking something out that they either do or don't like. But I mean, I get both, right? I also get where they're like, oh, I really like your beard, or oh, you're really cool, or you're so fucking smart, or you're so fucking interesting, right? But I see them both as just kind of opportunities. Yeah, this space. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I guess we are talking about that. Whatever. I mean, who knows? I guess we go all over the place, you know? We're open to whatever. But I guess it's all part of, like, the balance. Like, it's all part of, like, we're talking about all the things that are interesting, I guess, to me, right? Because it's some shit that I'm sharing. So I'm trying to talk about all things that interest me, or that they were not ready for you. They were not ready for me. That's okay. That's okay, man. That's the whole point. You know what I mean? We're working at it. We're growing, we're learning, and you have to bring the value, and you have to bring your personality, and you have to bring what it is that we have to offer. And that's what we do. You know what I mean? It's okay if people are ready or they aren't ready. It's all good. We're learning. We're doing it. And eventually it will pay off. We know that. And that's why we work at this. And we understand that it isn't all that important, right? Whether people say they like our beard, they don't like it, we're cool, we're not cool, our fashion things are good, our fashion is fucking bad, our sculpting is good, it's bad, the uncle likes us, he doesn't. It's all just opportunity to learn and to become the better person that we want to be, and that's where the value is. And we understand that these other people, their opinions, it's just their reaction. It's not huge, yeah, right. It's all part of it. Okay, you know what? That was a half hour. We banged that shit off today again. That's fucking sweet. This is a good one. Start off the week hardcore. Hammer it out. I'm going to do my meditation today. Agent Q, you've been hammering out some meditation, my man. I know you said you were going to get back on it, doing your 15 minutes. That's a solid hardcore. That's fucking high level. 15 minutes a day is fucking hardcore. I love it. Yeah. Anyone else who's trying to get started? I knew there's a few people out there. Get your 3 minutes done. You know what I mean? Get in the game with 3 minutes. Hammer that shit out. Bang that shit off. Try to get it 3 times this week. And keep me fucking posted. Hit me up with some shit in the DMs, on the comments on YouTube and shit like that. And we're all in it together, you know what I'm saying? And we're gonna fucking get it going. Anyone who didn't check out Elon Musk on Joe Rogan, go check him out. He was smoking fucking blunts and shit. It was hardcore. Yeah. Well done. Speak soon. Yes. Meditate on point like a boss. All right, brother. I love it, man. Take care. Everybody, peace out.